So, today is the Feast of the Holy Family, which we traditionally celebrate on this first Sunday after Christmas. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, the Holy Family. I expect that many of us grew up believing that Holy Family was kind of like that perfect holy card picture. 3 people living in an ideal life, always peaceful, always happy, full of holiness, no troubles. Wasn't my family. Probably wasn't, and it wasn't any other family I knew. But as we become older, we learn that Jesus grew up in a family and a world that was far from idyllic. Matthew describes his family as a collection of patriarchs, prophets, sinners, saints, heroes, harlots, adulterers, murderers, and deceivers of every sort. Not a whole lot different than the people we know in our 21st century. Just human beings, good and bad at different times. Mary, the mother of Jesus, was an unmarried teen whose fiancé wasn't really impressed until he was visited by the Holy Spirit and was made to see the plan of God. Soon after that, they walked nearly 100 miles from Nazareth to Bethlehem because of a census. They got to Bethlehem, no room in the inn due to the large crowds. So Mary delivered her baby in a barn. And while Jesus was still a baby, they were forced to hide out in Egypt for a few years, where they lived as refugees. So much for the idea that the Holy Family had an easy life. It was quite the contrary. It was very normal. Today, as we celebrate the Holy Family, we ask God's blessings on all of our own families, on all our parents and all the children. And, we have learned, we know intuitively, a child that does not experience a good life, a good family life, has great difficulty becoming a good parent and raising their children in a good family life. I have a friend. He grew up in a dysfunctional family, and so did his children. He's dealt with divorce, prison, rehab, and for the last 10 years, he's actually had a good, steady job, and now he's raising his granddaughter, who's not quite 2, because her mother doesn't care. He's doing a great job balancing work, family, and being a parent, a single parent. But I ask that all of you pray for him and all parents as they do the best they can. The book of Sirach, we just heard in the letters of St. Paul, they speak of a deep love and respect all families need to have for each other. Not only parents towards their children, but children towards their parents. Husband and wife for each other. Children for each other. And okay, here it comes. Paul said it. Wives, be subordinate. We've all heard that many times over the years. And most of the time we laugh at that phrase because we don't listen to what was said before and what was said after. And we're usually laughing a little bit so we don't quite hear that second part. He uses that same phrase in Colossians and Ephesians, but he doesn't use it for power. He uses it for peace and love within the family. Today we heard the following line, husbands, love your wives. And in Ephesians, he gets a little stronger. He says, husbands, be prepared to give your lives for your wives, as Jesus Christ gave his lives for us. So not a bad trade. A little bit of subordinate for self-sacrifice. I don't think it's too far off. But that's the way Paul saw it. He was not trying to create a power system. Our families, we're part of the church. And often we hear this term, the family is the domestic church, where we bring the church home between our time at Mass. The mission of that domestic church, that family, it's identical to the greater church, to give witness to the vision of Jesus Christ to the world that we live in. Jesus said, "Where two or more are gathered in my name, I am with you." And this should be true of every Christian family. Family life is not meant to be lived in isolation. The family should be united with each other, with the community, with the church. And we should support each other. And we should be supported by other members. The mission of the modern Holy Family is very far removed, seems to be very far removed from Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. One might say that comparison is very difficult when we look at the difference of 2,000 years and socially what it means. But there are holy families among us. There are families where mutual respect is given to every member, where each one is totally accepted for who they are, the gifts they have received, and they are allowed, each child is allowed to develop into who they were meant to be. Richness of life is not measured by your bank account, but in terms of well-adjusted, mature, and loving persons using the gifts that they have received to impact the world that we live in. This year of COVID has tested us all. Families have been challenged to trust. Trust each other. Trust our neighbors, our friends, our healthcare professionals, and our elected officials, to trust them to do the best they can. They didn't always succeed, but we have to believe they were trying to protect us, and we have to do the best we can to protect others and those around us. COVID has kept us apart. The elderly have been shut off from their families, and we as a community have to social distance and wear a mask, even here in the church. And we've gotten used to it. We've been doing it so long. This is a time when the values of Jesus have become the values of the family. The family is a place where we find love and forgiveness, support and understanding, genuine sharing, not just of things, but of ideas, feelings, joy, and sorrow. A place where the eyes really see and the ears take the time to listen and understand. Have you ever noticed we always refer to the Holy Family as Jesus, Mary, and Joseph? The child always comes first. That gift that a family receives. Today, we as a community are honored to witness the baptism of Robert, who's being presented by his family, his brother Joseph, his mother Marion, and his father Stephen. Another family in our community striving like all of us to become a holy family. And we can all see there are quite a few couples out there that won't be too far behind him over the next couple of months. So if we think back to that gospel, Simeon and Anna encouraged us to see Jesus with new eyes. Let us look to Jesus, Mary, and Joseph as our models of faith, hope, courage, and love. And may the peace of the Holy Family be with you all, today and every day.
please like, subscribe or comment below.